This wouldn't be the first time that the president of the United States said some irresponsible things or retweeted some irresponsible things. To me, this is worse than even the president getting up there on a stage and talking about injecting yourself with disinfectant. To me, this is even worse because now you have a doctor, Dr. Witch, the witch doctor, who's saying, don't wear masks. I have a cure. Everything is going to be fine. I've cured 350 people. The same woman who calls gay people terrorists. The same woman who says she has alien DNA. The same woman who says that if you have dreams about having sex, that can cause endometriosis and other diseases. Again, that number to call is 257-5396. Why don't we start off with Mario? Mario, you're first up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, Brian.
What's up?
It's like, I don't know if you hear Brian Kilmeade in the morning. He was talking about how basketball players are in a bubble, and he was saying how the Marlins. Well, he was just going on, and he was just like, well, they should just get sick and get over it. What? What do you mean?
He said that?
I mean, yeah, like he was just like, well, they're going to get it. They should just get over it.
Get sick and get over it. You know, I got to tell you, Mario, Kilmeade was on our show a few months ago. He seems to be a really nice guy. This is just my personal opinion on him. I don't think he actually believes some of the stuff he says. I really don't. I actually think he's a smart guy, and I think he just says
then
things.
Why put it out? I mean, he's so far left sometimes.
Yeah,
it's kooky. I mean, he claims he's a complete opposite of the left.
Right. Well, it's why I just said a few minutes ago, we have a responsibility as journalists. We can have opinions. We can disagree on policy and politics. But is there anybody, Mario, in their right mind after I read that history of this doctor that thinks that the president of the United States should have retweeted her last night? I mean, do you think
that's the problem? There's people who believe him. That's what I'm trying to tell JD all the time.
Yeah.
People, you have to hold them accountable.
Right.
People don't, and to the point like Brian Kilmeade, he's like, well, you're going to get sick. I mean, just get over it. It's like, how do you tell people? I mean, I understand people got to think for themselves, but you got to understand there's the other half who don't.
Oh, you're right. Mario, you're right. You're right, Mario.
You still got to believe in the government. And the problem is like how you were saying in the morning, it's like you're so tired of the right, the left. Well, then who do we look up to now? It's like,
I don't know. I don't know.
We lost. The compass is spinning around. But
you can look up to me, Mario. I'll run in 2024. You can look up to me. I appreciate the call.
I don't know about that, Brian. Hey, I love you too, but
you don't want me to be the president of the United States because I'll legalize drugs, prostitution. I'll legalize everything, and people will think I'm too liberal. I'm just kidding. I will not be running for office anytime soon. That is for sure. I don't have enough hair on my head for starters. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. We're talking about this witch doctor who went out there with her white coat, right-wing organization.
But I'm a real doctor.
Yeah, she's a real doctor, all right. She says that aliens, she has alien DNA. Maybe she thinks she was probed. I don't know. I wish she was, actually, quite frankly, because she's hurting the American people. She thinks gays are terrorists. She claims she's cured 350 people of the coronavirus. By the way, there's no data to back up that opinion. They've taken down all of her stuff on Facebook. She said Jesus is going to put a wrath on Facebook. 702-257-5396. Doesn't the president of the United States have a responsibility to not retweet nut jobs like this woman? She is a nut job. Let's go to Randall. Randall is next on the Vegas Take. Randall, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up, Randall?
Well, man, I got to say, we are in serious trouble. I'm very proud that you're stating the fact that people need to come out against both Republican and Democrat. That's exactly what needs to be said. We need to stop looking at decisions and policy just based on political parties. And, I'm going to say that I'm voting for Biden, even though I'm not a big fan of his.
Neither am I.
Yeah, we're going to have to deal with a lot of, his mistakes. But at least I believe that we won't have to deal with the same idiotic problems that we're dealing with now. And I despise Donald Trump.
Yep.
And I hold on to a lot of Republican ideals and ideology. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong.
That's okay. Randall, so do I. Hang on the line here. So do I. I mean, listen, I am for capital punishment. I am for securing our borders. I am not for reparations. I am not for, I don't think that if you're black because of the color of your skin, you should get any preferential treatment. I've never been for that. Those are a lot of right-wing ideals. But I also would rather have somebody in office that is a decent human being. Joe Biden is not the sharpest one. I mean, I think he's a smart guy, but he's old, and I don't think he's extremely sharp. But with that being said, let me give you a quick example, Randall, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later in the show. But Joe Biden and his wife, Jill, who, by the way, has been on this show before, they spent some time at the Lewis funeral yesterday, and I thought it was a nice moment. You know, they paid their respects. Donald Trump is asked about that, and all he says is 3 words. He says, no, won't be there. That's 4 words, I guess. Nope, won't be there in regards to the Lewis funeral. But yet, when we're talking about Maxwell, when we're talking about the Epstein case in Maxwell, he says he wishes her well. He said nicer things about Maxwell than Lewis.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. I mean, he's just embarrassed himself and has embarrassed the country over and over again, and people still support him, which is just beyond me. And people want to say, oh, his economic policies. I wouldn't even give him credit for any of those policies that got put in place. I would say it's more his cabinet and his administration.
Agree.
I can guarantee that whenever these decisions were being made, when Donald Trump speaks, everybody just face palms and rolls their eyes and then says something intelligent and then gives him credit for it.
I could not agree with you more, Randall. I think that's exactly what's going on. Randall, I appreciate the call. Good call, my friend. Call back anytime. 702-257-5396. I believe Chuck is next. Chuck, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? The witch doctor, all I got to say to you about that, Brian, is if you find chicken bones in your mailbox, you better go live in a church, brother.
Well, I think we all could agree that this woman is a Looney Tune. She's a complete lunatic. And my only point, Chuck, is that if people want to be,
but I'm a real doctor.
Yeah, she's a real doctor. If the president of the United States has a responsibility, and when you retweet something, this isn't you or me. You know, we're talking about the president with a gazillion followers. You know, you can't retweet stuff like that, and he did last night.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Chuck.
He shouldn't even retweet that if he follows it up with "ha ha."
I agree.
And
I agree.
I'm a Trump supporter, so
right. I agree.
It's stupid, and I'll tell you, man, people like that are the reason that I feel we have way too much social media because it gives idiots a format.
Yeah, you're right.
Platform.
You're right.
And then it's kind of like the old saying, monkey see, monkey do. If one idiot sees it, one idiot being another idiot, then they have a habit of glomming together, and they just become idiots together, and then they become dangerous.
Well, let me say this: I had some friends of mine that I do not think are idiots. They're nice people. They're nice, smart people, but they believed this woman last night. Several people that I know. I didn't call them idiots last night, but I'm going to say this right now. If you still believe this woman after that laundry list I gave all of you of this woman's past and her history and the atrocious, ridiculous things that she said, and you still believe her over the other real doctors and scientists out there, then you're an idiot. I have to say it, Chuck. I do.
It's called wishful thinking, Brian, and I'll tell you what, even the qualified people have made mistakes, and the thing is they're trying to call people experts on the coronavirus, which you can't be an expert on something that's brand new.
Right. I agree. I mean, no, I agree. People are going to make mistakes. There's no question. And when you look at Dr. Fauci and his career, yeah, certainly he's made some mistakes, but there are a lot of people out there that have attacked him, Chuck, and I think it's unwarranted. And by the way, Chuck, I appreciate the phone call. Also, he's had death threats. Dr. Fauci has had death threats. Isn't there a responsibility for the president to get it right and retweet credible people? Let's try to steal one more call before we go to break. Let's go to Marge. Marge, you're next on the Vegas Take. How's it going, Marge?
Hi. If you hadn't given the rest of the background on her, I thought it would be one of those comedian spoofs or something,
Yeah, you're right. It could be.
But, what I don't understand is, doesn't the president have someone that's kind of looking at the tweets he's sending out and checking on them first before he does something like that?
I don't know. I don't, Marge, to answer that, I don't think he does. I mean, I think people monitor it after he tweets stuff. I think he's on the crapper. He's watching his Fox and Friends, and he's boy, I would not want to be in the restroom when that's going on. But that's another story. But that's what I think. I think he's very impulsive. He tweets stuff up, and then damage control comes aboard and says, "Mr. President, you got to take that down." That's what I think would happen.
Yeah. What time did this come out?
Last night. Okay. late afternoon, early evening. So they do this press conference. Breitbart puts up the press conference, and then Donald Trump sees it and he tweets it out.
Yeah,
retweets
if I didn't know better, I would think that he's either drinking or on drugs.
Yeah, well,
something like that. But Did you see the thing today also about Donald Jr. and his little tweet?
Yeah, he's out. He's off of Twitter.
And
He's banned.
Limited now.
Yeah, because he's the one who retweeted this stuff out too, because he's a moron.
Yeah.
Father
like son.
I could not agree with you more. Don Jr. is a complete moron. Marge, always good to hear from you. We appreciate the phone call. Don Jr., Jared Kushner, these are white privileged kids who have done absolutely nothing in their lives. They've accomplished nothing. Jared Kushner has spent all of his daddy's money. His daddy donated $5 million to Harvard. I know, you're going to, Brian, you sound like a liberal. No, I sound like a person who's factual. Jared Kushner has not accomplished one damn thing in his life. He got Ivanka Trump. That's who he got. I guess he accomplished that. What an accomplishment. Congratulations, Jared. And then Donald Trump Jr., what has he accomplished in his life? He wrote a book. Somebody else probably wrote it for him. I'm so sick of these people that have a silver spoon in their mouth since they were 1 day old. They've done nothing in their life. And there are actually people out there that respect these people. What about Lewis, who just passed away? What about what he's done in his life? Those are the type of people we should be talking about and praising. Not somebody called Donald Trump Jr., not somebody called Jared Kushner V. These are not people that we should be praising. They don't belong in society as far as having a platform, as far as I'm concerned. We'll take some more phone calls on the other side of the break. We're talking about this nutty chick, absolute nutty chick, who Donald Trump decided to retweet. She claims that she's cured 350 people of the coronavirus. She also claims that gay people are terrorists. She also claims she has DNA of aliens. We're taking your calls on that at 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call, 257-5396. Also, some very harsh criticism for the Walls interview with Donald Trump. We'll explain what that's all about. Coming up next right here on the Vegas Take.